Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Apex Racing TV. Tonight we are broadcasting the BSR MX5 Monday Cup from Brands Hatch circuit, and we will be using the Indy layout. And yeah, joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is Marco Balbonero. And Marco, I have to say, at Brands Hatch and the MX5, it just seems to be a perfect combo.
Yes, especially, it's a proper track for the MX5s, and I have a soft spot for the Indy layout. By the way, hello everyone. Three races tonight with two reverse grids waiting for us, and I think we are going to see some fireworks tonight, Ryan. The track is very, 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 very short. There are several cars signed up for the race, 24 as of this moment, 22 rookies or amateurs, I should say, and two pro drivers, and the lap is so short, around 51, 52 seconds more or less. We can expect some great fights all over the racetrack, and of course, if you are in trouble in the beginning of the race, it's going to be very tough to stay uh, only one lap down, because if you are more than one lap down, not only you don't score any points for that particular race, but also you won't be eligible for the reverse grid. In a track like this, it's imperative, I think, to starting out in front. It's always a nice thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, we're just in the middle of qualifying at the moment. So, if possible, Marco, would we be able to go through the championship standings while the remainder of qualifying is uh, is still running?
Absolutely, and of course, we are in the 10th race of the season, the one that is about to start. We have had 9 races, 3 for each night. Alex Rivetti is leading the championship with 827 points, only one ahead of Carlardi. In third is Jamie Eagleson with 821. Dan Blake, the only pro driver to score points so far, 808. Andy Maxwell 804, then Edward May 755, David Ayres 717, Martin Sampson 680, Mick Barry 640, then John Moore, Jazz Banks 592 and 546 respectively, Anthony Ainsworth 539, 2 points ahead of Mikey Key 537, then Dale Bennison 523, Simon Watton 513, Steve Cooley 508. Now then we have the drivers in the 400s, Carl Jacolet 467, Craig Jones 454. Then we have Ben Sharp with 377, Scott Malcolm 353, Ralph Cullinan 283, then Ryan Oliver with 248, Graham Sasford 177, and Daniel Rowbottom rounding up the standings with 92 points. In the team standings, Result Clothing are leading the way, 3,311 points. Year 1 are behind them, 3,245, and Fury Simsport 2,754. Out of curiosity, the privateers have so far accumulated 1,717 points. If you are wondering about the point system, and next week we will have the points properly on the overlay, so you don't have to keep up with me going through them without having any kind of visual reference. The first the driver that finishes in first gets 100 points, P2 gets 97, P3 gets 95, P4 gets 94, P5 gets 93, and from P6 downwards you get 1 point less per each position you go down until the final position. So this point system is nice in the fact that you can have 10 drivers or 40 drivers. It's already set up for everyone gets their points basically, and one extra point is available for the fastest lap. But of course, like we said earlier, Ryan, you have to finish at most, one lap down. Otherwise, you don't get your points.
Yep, absolutely, and also correct me if I'm wrong, Marco, but I believe if you finish one lap down as well, I believe you're not eligible for the reverse grid wheel.
Only one lap down. If you are two down, you are not eligible. But if you finish on the lead lap and one lap down, you are not on the lead lap and one lap down. You're eligible. 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps. No. This goes in contrast to what we see on Saturdays in the Euro V8s, where we have you have to stay on the lead lap in the championship in order to be eligible, and the Euro V8s, by the way, are coming back Saturday with a triple header from Sonoma NASCAR layout, so it's going to be one crazy week, this one on Apex Racing TV. We have so many big series running around. No War GT, as we say hello to Dave Cam watching us on the YouTube chat. No War GT this week, so you don't have to choose. If you wish to stay with us, well, we will be very, very thankful, as we are just in the final couple of minutes of qualifying. And Carl Hardy is your pole sitter. Like we said, very, very short lap, so everyone trying to get their lap in, and traffic, of course, a big issue.
Yep, absolutely. Especially the Indy layout of Brands Hats with the MX5. For some reason, I always seem to prefer that layout, and I find it's just, especially the final corner, that long right-hander heading onto the. Oh, it's kind of a home straight, but it's kind of not a straight at the same time. But I just find it's that final corner, if you get it right, it's just so rewarding. And I think tonight, judging by the lap times at the moment, I think we should be in for some close racing. As someone's in the wall. That was Andy Maxwell, I think. But currently at the moment, the pole position is currently heading the way of Carl Hardy from Result Clothing, and yeah, I have to say, Marco, Result Clothing have not really been at the front as much as I expected to be this season. It seems to be the main teams up at the front seem to be Fury Simsport and Year One Racing.
Absolutely. Even though they are leading in the team standings, we are, that's because they are always there. Like I said last season and this season as well. I mean, they got a victory in Imola last week, but they seem to be missing the one or two clear main drivers. Let's put it this way. I mean, one or two drivers that can emerge from their, they have great quality all around. They are very evenly spread out with their quality throughout the team. They maybe they are missing, the extra a driver. I mean, Carl Hardy is very, very close in the standings, so sitting in second place. We'll see. I mean, I don't think we are going to have a runaway winner in this championship. I'm expecting things to go down the wire when week 12 comes, especially since this championship is mainly made up of the three teams you just mentioned. So it's very, very tough to go ahead, run away in a race, and let alone, of course, in the championship, and let alone in a race, as we are well past the 15-minute mark. So drivers getting their final lap times in. I don't think that anyone is improving on their lap times, and so we are just waiting for the session to switch over, and then we will be ready for the first of 3 races.
Yep, absolutely. Just watching just a couple of guys completing their lap. I believe it's Steve Cooley and Carl Jacqueline from Year One Racing are still to complete their lap, so hopefully they can improve. And I have to say, Marco, Year One Racing, considering it's a new team that was only put together in a short amount of time, they've been getting good results this season.
They have, absolutely, and basically a team, them and Fury, that came together because of this championship last season. So nice to see them stick together and getting some good performances out of it. And I think session is over. We can go through the starting grid for race 1.
Absolutely, taking pole position for race 1 is Carl Hardy. Alongside him in second is Alex Rivette. Third place is Ben Sharp. Fourth place is Edward May. Alongside Edward is Craig Jones in fifth. Sixth place is Mikey Key. Seventh place is Jez Banks. Eighth place is James Eaglestone. Ninth place is Ralph Cullinan. 10th place is Steve Cooley. 11th place is Carl Jacqueline. 12th is Scott Malcolm for Team Mad. 13th place is 13th is Graham Sessford. 14th is Andy Maxwell. 15th is David Ayers. 16th is Ryan Oliver. 17th is Mick Barry. 18th is Dale Benison alongside him, and 19th is Martin Sampson, and rounding out the grid in 20th is Simon Wotton. Sorry about that. And 21st is Thomas Derbyshire as well. 22nd is John Moore. 23rd is Dan Blake. and round out the grid. This time anyway, as I get it right, is Kip Cooper in 24th.
Yes, and the two pro drivers will probably, if like we've seen earlier in the season, start from the pits and try to work their way back. Of course, with a short lap should help them. 15-minute race waiting for us, and just waiting for the clock on the top left of the screen to count down to, or up, I say, to 2 minutes, and then the start procedure will begin.
So as all the cars are lining up in the grid, and just wait for I believe it Dan Blake and Kip Cooper Stevens will start in the pits due to them being a pro driver. So yeah, just waiting for the countdown to hit 0, and there we go. Just waiting for the lights to come on, and we'll be underway for race 1 and the first race of the evening. And yep, away we go. Carl Hardy gets a great start off the line, but he gets a bit sideways. Alex Rivette is alongside him as they head into turn 1. Ben Sharp in third is trying to take a look up the inside of Rivette, but yeah, it's yep, they both make it. Oh, tried to go free wide up into the hairpin. It's good. This is going to be a bit. Oh,
that was Ben Sharp taking the lead momentarily. Alex Rivette is the inside. They make it work somehow without any kind of drama so far. And now the two Fury Sim Sport guys are side by side. As in the back there's a spin for Ryan Oliver. But oh, look at that Carl Hardy, the pole sitter, who is down in fourth, giving a little bit of a lob tap, yes, to Edward May. But apart from that, and I think David Ayers having also an issue in the start. Everything seems to be great, and that was a very, very, very interesting start.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a bit, free wide going up into the hairpin. That was a bit scary. Well, a bit scary from my point of view, but yeah, everyone made it through the hairpin in one piece, and yeah, looks like these 4 cars, Marco, are slowly starting to pull away from the pack behind and slowly build up a gap.
Absolutely, as we have also viewers from Argentina right now, which is absolutely amazing, watching the MX5 here in Brands Hatch, as I mean, it's going to be tough to find a break to show the highlights, the crashes, etc. that we missed, because I mean, we have such a short track and the action is all over the place right now. Let's go back to the front, because Alex Rivette is under pressure from Ben Sharp.
Yep, I was about to say Ben Sharp's putting Alex Rivette under pressure and trying to challenge for the lead. Ben Sharp is trying to do the cutback as he head back up to the hairpin, but Ben Sharp's up the inside, up into the entry of the hairpin. He tries to sneak up the inside. Rivette leaves just enough room, and yeah, they're still side by side. Oh, contact!
That was so close to disaster, and now Edward May may profit from his teammates' moment there. He got just a little bit sideways because of that contact, lost precious momentum, and now Edward May is in second. Alex Rivette still leading, Ben Sharp, Carl Hardy, Craig Jones, your top 5, as we are beginning lap 4.
Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah, I think that was a bit. Yeah, that was a bit of a bumping and rubbing with Rivette and Edward May or Ben Sharp. Yeah, it's so tough to keep your eyes on this field because there seems to be a bit of a battle going on everywhere you look. As we're on board with Ben Sharp, currently behind his teammate Edward May, and yeah, this 4-car pack was pulling away from the cars behind, but yeah, the cars behind have caught him right back up.
They have, and now in the back I think Craig Jones, who was maybe thinking about a move on Mikey Key, but they slot back into single file as Rivette 0.7 of a second in front of May. Ben Sharp maybe trying to pull a move on his teammate as they are side by side, and May now Sharp is on the inside, 3 wide, maybe Arctic fancying his chances. Hopefully they all behave as they go into Druids.
Absolutely. Carl Hardy's up there. Carl Hardy up the inside of I think I was Edward May up the inside and took the position, and Mikey Key's trying to trying to stick his nose up the inside as well, but he's under pressure from his teammate. He's under pressure from his teammate Craig Jones.
Now Carl Hardy. No, sorry. Yes, that is Carl Hardy. Trying to get a run and try to close the gap to Ben Sharp, who's pulling away now. As we have another 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide in just a bit as they go on the front stretch that is not a stretch. Oh man, this is very, very scary.
Oh, I thought they were trying to go 4 wide there, but this is just this is why I love this. This is why I love this layout of Brands Hatch, Marco. Just because you get close racing throughout the field, and looking at this battle at the moment, it just proves it. This layout can produce great racing.
Absolutely, and I have to say, now I don't want to jinx it, but everyone is absolutely behaving at their best. And we haven't had any major issues so far, and that's what we like to see, because the racing is fantastic so far. Already 5 minutes gone, so 1/3 of the... Oh man, I jinxed it. That is Edward May and other cars scattering to avoid. Craig Jones also is in the gravel. They were the 2 main guys involved in that contact. Everyone else seems to have made it through. But yeah, I jinxed it. Oh, Alex Rivette is having some issues. And he's off with some big damage. Alex Rivette throwing away the race lead. And that car is crabbing wildly.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Alex Rivette. That was. I wonder. Oh, I wonder if he's had contact with.
He bounced hard on the curb, and a tank slapper there.
Oh, he just lost it. He just lost it in turn 1 after. It looks like he took too much curve and onset with the car, and unfortunately he just lost it and hit the wall. As currently we look at Scott Malcolm currently sitting in 8th position. Trying to make a move on Cal Jacqueline on the run down to turn 1. I'll be interested to see if Scott tries to go round outside. I think he might get it done. Oh, he does get it done. What a move. Nice move, Scott Malcolm.
Scott Malcolm, the amateur champion in the main series, if I'm not mistaken, last time around, or 2 seasons ago. My memory is failing me as of this moment, as Mikey Key using all of the track and then some, and he's not the only one. I mean, you can use a bit of this runoff area. The one you can see looks like a carpet, basically. But then if you go too much on the right side, you get tagged with an off-track. Ben Sharp, Carl Hardy closing in on the leader. Mikey Key is in 3rd. Then Just Banks and Ralph Cullinan. He was very, very consistent in the previous round, his debut round in the series. And also we have some battling here with Andy Maxwell, Graham Sesford, and that was Carl Giacoletto also, and Scott Malcolm as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, just it seems to be just looking through the pack now, Marco. It just seems everyone's settled down now, and yeah, it seems to be everyone's settled into line, and just watching this battle for P8 at the moment with Andy Maxwell and the 2 year one racing cars behind him with Cal Jacqueline and Graham Sesford. Yeah, also not far behind these guys is Steve Cooley for year 1 racing. So yeah, year 1 racing seem to be out in numbers, Marco.
I have to apologize, by the way, because I forgot to open trading paints. So now we should see Graham's livery in all his beautiful year 1 glory.
The 2 teammates as the 2 teammates exchange position or swap around into turn 1, but yeah, Jacquelin's back up the inside of his teammate, but he decides to slot him behind and behind him is his other teammate, Steve Cooley. So yeah, the year 1 racing guys seem to be.
Oh no! Massive hit for Jazz Banks. And I think he involved at least 2 cars, one of them being his teammate.
Yeah, he just caught the edge of the grass, I think. Oh.
So those were, I think, Scott Malcolm and maybe James Eagleston. James Eagleston has got some big damage, so yeah, that was him. And sorry, that was, I think, Ralph Cullinan, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was. I think just looking back up at the two leaders. Yeah, just looking at the two leaders at the moment out in front now. They've got a big gap behind them. The two leaders at the moment are Ben Sharp for Fury Simsport and Carl Hardy for Result Cloven in second. So yeah, these guys have managed to pull away from the cars behind. While the cars behind get squab on one seats are and hold each other up. So these guys have just looking at the gap from Carl Hardy to Mikey Key. The gap behind them is about probably I think around about 4 seconds, I believe.
Yes, 5 seconds if you consider from the leader.
Oh yeah.
4.5 if you consider to Carl Hardy. So I mean, if these two don't crash, I think they will be in a good position to battle it out for the race win.
As it. Excuse me. Yeah, these guys are just. I guess the battle for the one will be between these two guys, and the battle for the podium position, the final podium position, I should say, will be between Mikey Key and the rest of the pack. So yeah, and also on the as you see at the top of the screen at the moment, there's the two colours for the two classes. Green is for the armed drivers, and the blue is for the pro drivers. And yeah, the armed drivers are probably I would say the drivers that are not as quick as the pro guys, or they seem to be not as quick, so they get put into the armed class for drivers at similar pace, and the really quick really quick guys, I should say, get put in the pro class. So yeah, just thought I'd explain that as well. As what's James Eaglestone trying to make a move on the Graham Sessford and manages to get the inside and make the move.
Oh! Craig Jones goes around. And I think also Sessford is in the gravel there. So they lose crucial positions, and that's usually the name of the game here in Brands Hatch Indy layout. Oh! That was that. Ryan Oliver, another problem for him. So in these final few laps of the race, all is happening. Meantime, Sharp and Hardy keep trading lap times with each other. This lap Sharp was faster, the previous lap Hardy was faster. But let's spend a word for Simon Watton. 11 places gained, is now up in P9, the biggest mover of the field. If we exclude, of course, the pro driver Dan Blake, and also Scott Malcolm marching towards a very nice finish, now up to P4, and 8 places gained for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say it's been a fantastic drive for Scott in race one. He's managed to keep out of trouble and make his way through the field, and he's been rewarded with a fourth place at the moment. And if he keeps on track, he could be able to finish there. As I believe we should have two more laps, I believe, Marco.
Yes, we know the Brands Hatch is usually a very tricky track in terms of when the white flag drops on the GP layout. I have honestly don't think I mean, yes, I did I broadcasted the race from here for the Euro V8s. I don't remember any particular issues. Oh yes, because that was a lap sorry, it was a lap race, not a timed race. So, well, let's wait and see, because the lap is around 51-52 seconds. So we shall see, as Cullinan is in fourth, defending from Andy Maxwell, who's really pushing hard, and in front of them is Cullinan's teammate Scott Malcolm. As once again, Hardy is only 1/10 faster, and in a, not enough if you consider that we have, I guess you are right, now from this moment we should have 2 laps left.
Absolutely. Just watching this battle between Ralph Cullinan and Andy Maxwell for 5th position, and Maxwell was trying to make a move up the inside there, I think, or just maybe carried to what speed. But just watching the two result clothing cars ahead of Malcolm and Cullinan, I think I believe Cullinan might just be backing off a little bit to try and hold up Maxwell, as Yep, I believe you're just coming across the line for. I think it'll be close, but I think we've got 1 lap remaining. But
Or,
yeah, I
or,
think it'll be
or
very
you know,
tight.
maybe two. Maybe two. That
Or
was
maybe
very
two. Yeah.
close. Now my maths are terrible usually. But let's keep an eye on these two and see what's going on. Sharp gets a much quicker lap. He got a 52.1 compared to the 52.5 for Carl Hardy. So he's really, you know, doing a good job under pressure from the result clothing driver. Result clothing, like I said earlier, they are missing maybe an extra bit of, one clear-cut top driver because they are second, third, fourth, and fifth. So they are all there. But of course, first place is the one that matters the most. And right now, Ben Sharp now takes the white flag. So my maths for once were right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say your maths is better. Ooh, watching the two year one racing cars going at it into the final corner of Watson and Jackalate, and yeah, it looks like there's no team orders, Marco.
No. Also, they know that you use this camera angle for the broadcast, and they put a nice discount code on the right side of their windshield. Nice, smart move.
As yeah, just looking to see yeah, it looks like it's all settled down now, and everyone's just wants to get to the finish, and yeah, it looks like we're just watching the leader Ben Sharp coming around the final corner. He's coming around the final corner. It looks like Ben Sharp will take the first race of the evening and take the first race of the evening, closely followed by Carl Hardy. So yeah, Ben Sharp takes the one in race one, Carl Hardy second, and then waiting for Mikey Key to come across the line to complete the podium in third position. Scott Malcolm and finish in fourth, closely followed by teammate Ralph Cullinan in fifth, Andy Maxwell in sixth. And then Dan Blake will come across the line in seventh, I think, followed by James Eaglestone. Uh, Followed by Eaglestone, then Simon Watson in ninth, Carl Jackalate in 10th, and then waiting for the rest of the cars to come across. And then once everyone crosses the line, we will take you through the results for race one.
Yeah, only Edward May, not James May, missing from the finishing order, and that was that. So congratulations to Ben Sharp, and he gets the nice slow motion replay. And in a second, we will have the race results for race one, and they should be on your screen right now.
As yeah, the results are just up on your screen right now. As yeah, Ben Sharp takes the first race of the evening, and closely followed by Carl Hardy in second. Mikey Keek rounds out the podium in third position. Fourth place is Scott Malcolm. Fifth place is Ralph Cullinan. Sixth place rather is Andy Maxwell. Seventh place is Dan Blake. Eighth place is James Eaglestone. Ninth place is Simon Wharton. Carl Jackley rounds out the top 10. David Ayres finishes in 11th, followed by teammate Craig Jones and Mick Barry also as well in 13th. Steve Cooley finishes in 14th. 15th is Thomas Derbyshire. 16th is Martin Sampson. 17th is Edward May. Jez Banks finishes one lap down in 18th. 19th is Alex Rivette. Graham Sessford in the 20th. The 21st is Dale Benison. And then the rest of the cars either retired or were not classified.
Exactly, and this means
And also,
that.
yeah, oops, sorry, Marco.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No worry.
I was about to say that it's also Marco's favourite moment of the night as well, the reverse grid wheel. So, yeah, Marco, take it away.
Exactly, here we go. The reverse wheel is very shy tonight, but now should be on your screen. Yes, so I remind you, sorry, the rules. Every number equals to the actual number of reversed cars for race 2. -1 is full -1, -2, -3, and -4. They will be a full reverse. Let's roll it. and it's going to be 20. This means Graham Sesford will get pole position. It will be a year one racing lockout of the front row because Alex Rivet will start in second. Third will be Jess Banks with his teammate Edward May in fourth. And privateer Martin Sampson will start in fifth, together with the other privateer Thomas Derbyshire in sixth. So 2 year one, 2 Fury, and 2 privateers in the top 6. Then we have Steve Cooley, Mick Barry, the older result clothing guys. So the leaders of this race 1, Ryan, have a lot of work to do in race 2.
Absolutely. It's, as always, the reverse grid wheel of, for the reverse grid for race 2 and 3. It's always for the quick guys in the series. It always proves it gives them a bit of a challenge with regards to racecraft, and I think that's going to be around this layout of this layout of Brands Hatch, I should say. I think that's going to be absolutely intriguing and fascinating to watch and see how they get on in race 2 and 3. So yeah, me and Marco's going to go and have a break for now, and we're going to take a commercial break. So yeah, don't go anywhere, people, and remember to tune in for the second race of the evening, which is coming up in just a few moments' time.
Smashed it. Great job, you did really well.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Apex Racing TV. You join us for race 2, which is just about to get underway right now, and we'll quickly take you through the grid on screen. Dan Blake starts in pole position. Second place is James Eaglestone. Third place Jez Banks. Fourth place is Ralph Cullinan. Fifth Edward May. Sixth Scott Malcolm. Seventh Andy Maxwell. Eighth Dale Benison. Ninth Craig Jones. 10th Carl Hardy. 11th Alex Rivette. 12th Ben Sharp. The 13th place is Simon Watton. 14th place is Thomas Derbyshire. 15th place is Mick Barry. 16th is Graham Sessford. 17th is David Ayres. 18th Ryan Oliver. 19th Steve Cooley. 20th Carl Jackley. And 21st is Mike Key. 22nd is Martin Sampson. 23rd is John Moore, rounding out the grid.
I think someone forgot to reverse the grid for race 2, but okay.
Oh! Someone jumped the start.
Okay, so the grid hasn't been reversed and we are green. Will this race be official or will they call it? Let's pretend it's it's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks like, as Marcus said, it looks like they've forgot to reverse the grid. But just watching at the moment, it seems to be everyone's made it through the first few corners relatively unscathed. And just watching a few cars battling out at the moment. Up at the front, it's a Fury Simsport 1, 2, 3 at the moment, and someone's spun round. That is Thomas Derbyshire. We'll look back up at the field, but yeah, we don't know if this race will be officially called or if they'll have to restart or post another session. But anyway, we'll wait and see. But coming across the line is the Fury Simsport guys of James Eaglestone and Jez Banks, Scott Malcolm in third, Craig Jones is in fourth, and Andy Maxwell in fifth. And yeah, it looks like Marco, everyone's made it through the first lap with no problems.
Yes, and we are still racing, so I think it's all good. Very strange situation, but it's the beauty of being live, they say here in Italy. There's a problem for Craig Jones, slowing down a lot and losing several positions. We have a Fury Simsport 1, 2, and behind them Scott Malcolm is pulling away. And there is some big contact there. Alex Rivette and I think also Ralph Cullinan, maybe even Ben Sharp got involved in that collision. Just a little bit of, wheel banging, door banging, nothing major. I hope and look that behind the Year 1 racing guys are trying to sort themselves out as they start the third lap of the race. Edward May is back in the pits, second time that he's gone through the pits after his jump start, and so James Eaglestone is in the lead and he's about to lap John Moore. Yes, we had some issues at the start of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As John Moore gets out of the way for the two leaders, still currently a Fury 1, 2 at the moment. Scott Malcolm's going well in third place at the moment, and behind Scott Malcolm is Andy Maxwell, and Ben Sharp's in fifth place with Fury Simsport. And yeah, it looks like everyone's managed to settle down now, and it's not as chaotic as it was in race 1. And yeah, I think I'm not sure about the grid, Marco. If someone forgot to set it, or if it was maybe a glitch in the settings. But yeah, it's still a bit strange.
Yes, especially because I was a bit confused by the grid that we got when the race started, and I remember quite clearly there were the two Year 1 guys in first place. It's all happening right here, and we say hello to the Andy Maxwell fan club in the chat, as he's on your screens right now, sitting in P7, the place where he started, as Alex Rivette goes for the go-kart line on the outside. Lots of chaos in these mid to high positions in a standing, with also there it's it's John Moore getting lapped. Carl Jacolette and Alex Rivette are very close, and in front of them Carl Hardy trying to go for a move. Of course, that's the lapped car number 72, John Moore. So yeah, very very chaotic, chaotic but calm, I should say, if that makes sense. Start of the race, and we will hear from the drivers, I think, after the race about what happened with this reverse grid, which also, I wanted to go through the points after race 1, but maybe later, because now Eaglestone, Banks, and Scott Malcolm is in third. Ben Sharp, Craig Jones, your top 5. Will Banks go for a move here?
Yeah, I'm just. Excuse me, I just about coughed there. Just watching the two Fury Simsport guys still 1-2 up at the front at the moment. Scott Malcolm in third. As we look back through the field at Alex Rivette and Mick Barry, and yeah, Alex Rivette's up the inside of Barry and manages to get the move done as we ride on board with Cal Hardy and currently looking back at Ben Sharp trying to go around the outside into the final corner, but Malcolm manages to hold the position and still retain third place.
This Fury Simsport livery is fantastic. All the liveries in this championship, I quite like them a lot. It's a very, very colorful championship. As Malcolm, we got a close look at that Fury Simsport livery. Malcolm gets third place. Just so you know, the new leader in the standings is Carl Hardy. Eaglestone second and Alex Rivetti is in third. This is the top 3 in this very, very, very close championship, as we have 7 laps now, almost 8 in the books. Oh, sorry, we are in lap 7, so 6 laps in the books. And this long train of cars behind Scott Malcolm. I don't know if they have enough time, Ryan, to go and catch the 2 Fury Simsport machines there at the front. Now 3, of course, because there is, I think, Ryan Ollie. Oh man, why I keep confusing them? Oh, there's someone going wide there, very, very wide. It's David Ayers. And now, not only him, there is also Mikey Key with some big issues. So he went off on his own, apparently.
Oh, he's going to play back.
Oh, and his teammate hit him, and then a year 1 guy hit him as well. So less than ideal situation there. Oh, Scott Malcolm is around.
Contact between Malcolm and one of the Fury Simsport guys. That was absolutely unfortunate.
That was Ben Sharp, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's lost many positions, but so did, of course, Scott Malcolm, who is known for being a very, very clean and consistent driver, and now some more door banging between Mick Barry, not that it's Carl Jacolet, sorry, and Ben Sharp. And here we have the drivers going through Druids. I mean, look at 3 wide. Oh, not going to work. Oh, there's a massive hit for Barry and Sharp.
Oh man, that was a free wide was never going to work in that part of the track. As we look back up at
this is Jacolet around, or maybe not. No, great, no, around. Almost saved it.
I was about to say he just about saved it. As we watch the 2 resolved clothing cars of Craig Jones and Ralph Cullen battling for third, and yeah, it looks like the two Fury Simsport cars up ahead, Marco, in first and second of Eaglestone and Banks have managed to pull away.
Yes, absolutely. We heard last week after the Imola round in the post-race interviews that while still be very, very respectful of each other, but as it is normal, I would say, the tension, the sporting tension, I would say, if you know what I mean, between the teams is escalating, because after all, every week as Rivette goes wide, his teammate, and he saves it. I mean, the tension between the teams is reaching, maybe the boiling point. I don't know, because after all, you keep racing week in and week out against the same drivers and the same 3 teams are fighting against each other for the championship and the race wins. And this means, as Ben Sharp is in the pits, this means that, there is absolutely the possibility of having some feuds, let's put it this way, between the teams. And we might see some more contacts that we were used to see maybe last season. So keep an eye on that. Eaglestone Banks, I'm still trying to figure out who that car is with them. It's Edward May, who is in P18. Craig Jones is in front of Ralph Cullinan, so the 2 Result Clothing guys. And Carl Hardy is in front of Andy Maxwell. Dan Blake is up to P7, starting from the pits, and we have an issue for John Moore, the privateer, going into the grass there. And
Yeah, I was wondering where John was going there. He must be trying to, must be trying to get back to the pits. You look at.
I don't know about you, but in Italy we have a tradition on Easter Monday to go, in the parks, in the countryside, and have a little bit of lunch in the, outside. I don't know if you have the same, but the British tracks always remind me of on Easter Monday, or all the grass, all the trees, the beautiful scenery, as Malcolm is getting back. Trying to get back through the field now, up to P9. As I don't know if Eaglestone and Banks are battling. We know for a fact that they are on the radio together, so they are talking. Maybe they are waiting until the final lap. As Craig Jones makes a mistake and Ralph Cullinan takes the podium for now.
Yep. Absolutely. Craig Jones made a little mistake, and that gave it gave his teammate Ralph Cullinan a chance to pounce and to pick up the third place in the final podium position. But I think we've still got about 3 laps remaining. So yes, the race for the final podium position is still on. As we look back up at the front back up at the front at the 2 Fury some sort cars with Edward May just behind them. I think Edward May at this point is just acting as a rear gunner.
Exactly. And the Maxwell wide, very wide. Not losing a position. Dan Blake behind him, Dale Bennison and Scott Malcolm. With Malcolm trying to pull away. Maybe, Watton is don't think he's going to catch Watton. So let's focus on this battle for the lead right now. With Eaglestone in first and Banks in second, and we have just a few minutes left in this race. I'm not trying to guess how many laps are left, because I probably would be wrong.
I can't really find any battles going on at the moment. I think everyone's just settled down. I think the closest battle we've got at the moment is the 2 Result Clothing cars of Cullinan and Jones battling for third place at the moment. Yeah, it looks like Cullinan's managing to hold his teammate up there a little bit. He's doing a good job of holding him up as well, and also doing a good defensive job.
So let's keep an eye on when Eaglestone crosses the start-finish line. And he does with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Oh man, I'm not even trying to do that. I'm sorry. Let's focus on the racing, which I think is the better part, the best part of my work here. Because mathematics are certainly not my strong suit. Side by side, Jones and Cullinan. Cullinan using all of the track and some of the gravel traps, but it's his teammate, so he's not forcing the issue, and Jones is back to P3.
Yep, absolutely. I think as someone's off in the gravel, that's Thomas Derbyshire. So yeah, they just seem to have run wide as the 2 Result Clothing guys are still going at it.
Yes, so it seemed like Cullinan let Jones go through at Druids, but now all of a sudden he's come back to his teammate, and he made a very, very, very nice pass there. So these two will keep battling. Final lap maybe started now. We'll keep you posted.
I believe this should be the last lap. I believe anyway. That's my guess, but I think I'll be close to see if they go for another lap or this will be the last lap. But yeah, I have to say there's not really been any battles to look at. What was apart from the battle for the final podium position mark was Edward May comes through the final few corners, and I think this should be the last lap possibly, or it's going to be close. I think Edward May's coming out the final corner, and it's going to be very very close. I think looking at the timer, it's going to be
one more lap.
One more lap. Yep. So yeah, that was mighty close, and yeah, I think looking back through the field as well at the moment, it's still going on. This battle for the final podium position is going down to the final lap between one of the E1 racing guys has issues. That is Steve Cooley on the grass.
Now, it's been tough to keep track of all the action in the second race. We still have one more to come, so don't go away after the end of this one. As Carl Hardy has joined this party for the final podium position, but I think we should give the cameras to the Fury Sim Sport duo and especially James Eaglestone Ryan, because now there's a checker flag in the air.
Yep, James Eaglestone comes across the line to take the second race of the evening, just ahead of teammate Jez Banks, and Craig Jones will come across the line to take the final podium position and round out the top three, just ahead of his teammate Ralph Cullinan and Carl Hardy. And yeah, Craig Jones takes a well-deserved podium in third position, and yeah, just waiting for the rest of the cars to come across the line. And once they do that, we'll take you through here the results for race 2.
Yes, one final battle for position on the racing track, and that's Ben Sharp and Mick Barry for P15. Seems like Sharp has got this one in the bag. And I think he will get P15 in the end. Yes, it will be his. Mick Barry finishes in 16th. Edward May has already gone back to the pits. Jacolette has crossed the start finish line. I think everyone went through. And that is right. And so, in just a few seconds, we will give you the race results for the second race of the evening. They should be on your screen right now.
Absolutely. The results are up on your screen right now. So James Eaglestone takes the race 1 and race 2 for Fury Simsport. Jess Banks makes it a Fury Simsport 1-2 in second place. Craig Jones finishes in third. Fourth place is Ralph Cullinan. Fifth place is Carl Hardy. Sixth place is Dan Blake. Seventh place is Andy Maxwell. Eighth place is Simon Watt. Ninth place is Scott Malcolm. Dale Benison finishes in 10th position. 11th is Mikey Key. 12th is Graham Sessford. 13th is Steve Cooley. 14th is Thomas Derbyshire. 15th is Ben Sharp. 16th is Mick Barry. 17th is Edward May. Cal Jackley finishes in 18th. David Ayres finishes in 19th. 20th is John Moore. And Martin Sampson finishes 2 laps down. And your retirees from race 2 were Alex Rivet and Ryan Oliver.
Yes, so there will be 20 cars available for the reverse at most. Let's put the reverse wheel on your screen. Let's roll it. -2, and so, like we agreed with the organizers, a full reverse, and that means 20. And so, John Moore should start from pole position, David Ayres in second, third Carl Jaccolette, fourth Edward May, and 15th Mick Barry. Hopefully no issues with the reverse this time, because it's really something that I like, and I mean, I like to spin the wheel regardless, but I want to see these quick guys start from the back and work their way through the rankings today. So, well, let's see what happens, Ryan. I think we are in for a very, very nice final race of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, just looking at the YouTube chat as well, and Mick Barry says regarding race two, it was an iRacing blip with regards to the grid in race two. So, yeah, the iRacing playing up again, and yeah, thanks for letting us know, Mick. Sorry. Yeah, me and Mark was just going to go for a commercial break, but don't forget to join us for the final race of the evening at Brands Hatch, and yeah, we'll be back in a few moments' time.
Smashed it. Great job, you did really well.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Apex Racing TV. You join us for the final race of the evening here at Brands Hatch, and yeah, just before the race starts, we'll quickly take you through the grid. Cal Jackalate takes pole alongside him is Ed May. Third place is Mick Barry. Fourth place is Ben Sharp. Fifth place is Thomas Derbyshire. Sixth place is Steve Cooley. Seventh Graham Sessford. Eighth Mikey Key. Ninth Dale Bennison. 10th Scott Malcolm. 11th Simon Watson. 12th Andy Maxwell. 13th is Dan Blake. 14th Carl Hardy. 15th Ralph Cullinan, 16th is Craig Jones, 17th is Jez Banks, 18th is James Eaglestone, 19th is David Ayers, 20th is John Moore, 21st is Martin Sampson, and rounding out the grid, and 22nd is Alex Rivette. And yeah, the lights are just about to come on, and we should be underway with the final race of the evening. Let's so get underway now as Cal Jackalate gets a great inside him is Edward May in second, and yeah, Edward May tries to dive up the inside into turn one. It looks like Edward May might get his nose up there. Oh, that was so close as Cal Jackalate manages to. As Mick Barry up the inside takes two cars in one go up the inside into second place. Nice move, Mick Barry. I'll take my hat off to him as I get my words out.
So Jackalate, under pressure from Mick Barry, who of course is one of the quickest drivers in the field, having a good starting position, but this is very risky. Oh, Jackalate saves the car somehow.
Oh, that was a butt clenching moment.
I was, trying to save the car for him here, So Mick Barry in the lead, Car Jackalate, Edward May. What a fantastic first lap. Final race of the day, Ryan. Drivers, of course, want to finish on a high. And I think Edward May has a good run for second place now.
Yeah, Edward May.
Oh, he clipped Mick Barry!
Oh, he clipped.
Oh, Mick Barry has to be careful there. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Mamma mia.
You are absolutely right, mamma mia, because look at that. He couldn't stop his car in time, and he he clipped Mick Barry.
Yeah,
something fierce.
I have to say, Mick Barry was just a passenger, just an innocent passenger in that incident, and there's nothing he could do. He was just Edward May just carried too much speed and just clipped him, and unfortunately it sent Mick Barry spinning around. And yeah, unfortunately for Mick, he had a great start, but looking back up at the front, Cal Jackalate and all that melee has managed to regain the lead.
Trying to see if Ben Sharp has some damage, because he clipped the spinning Mick Barry there. As Thomas Derbyshire taking the scenic route and then clipping the tire barrier there. And I think it will be game over for him unless he can go back onto the racing line. But I think he's very upset. And side by side for the lead now, Edward May. Trying to get on the inside of Jackalate and back into the first position.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks like Edward May's up the inside of Cal Jackalate. He's up the inside into someone, manages to get the move done, and he's May's teammate Ben Sharp is trying to also get in the action, as well as Jackalate tries to dive back up the inside of Edward May, but May covers the inside line perfect. And yeah, just looking clear at the moment, he's in a Fury sandwich.
Yes, and Ben Sharp clipped that curb, the inside curb through. It's very hard. For a second I feared he might have bounced into Jackalate, but that wasn't the case. But I think it's just a matter of time. Yes, and now Sharp goes in, and it's a Fury Sim Sport 1-2 for the time being, with Jackalate now back to third. And Sessford, his teammate, and Cooley as well, trying to close the gap, and they will close it in a hurry, because I think Jackalate will try to respond, and of course they will slow down, and also they will help Edward May there at the front of the field run away.
Jackalate's up the inside. He's trying
contact.
A bit of bumping and rumbling there. Jackalate just slightly nudged Ben Sharp. Ben Sharp manages to keep second place, but I think Ben Sharp, I think his job for this race is at the moment anyway is try and hold these year one racing cars up behind him.
Oi!
Oh Jesus!
Wow! And Sesford gets past his teammate, but he almost smashed into the back of Ben Sharp's car. Now side by side. Let's see if they pull some strategy. Sesford takes the inside, and then takes the outside.
He does a bit of rallycross.
Giacolet back in second then. They lost crucial time to the Fury Sport duo back at the front of the field.
Absolutely. Yeah, these guys squabbling amongst themselves is allowing these two Fury Sport cars up ahead to slowly pull away.
Greg Jones side by side there with Andy Maxwell, who is in 7th place. Biggest mover so far, Alex Rivet, 9 places gained. Maxwell will be under attack, I think, from Craig Jones as they go down the front stretch. I mean, there isn't really a proper straight on this track, on this variant especially.
Absolutely, we're just looking at this battle for 7th place at the moment between Maxwell and Jones, and yeah, just looking back at this pack as well. It looks like this pack is starting to slowly clump or slowly bunched up, I should say. As but looks like Malcolm's just been passed by his teammate Ralph Cullinan for 9th position, and yeah, Malcolm's under attack from the Fury Simsport car of Jez Banks.
Side by side once again. Here Jones then slots back behind Andy Maxwell, but Jones is trying everything he can to get past Maxwell and maybe go ahead and catch Mikey Kies behind them. Some argy-bargy between Banks, Hardy, Malcolm as well. Back to the front then, or sort of to the front with Steve Cooley. And he's defending from Mikey Key for 5th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just looking throughout the field to see if there's any battles. Yeah, seems to be in the midfield that there's the midfield seems to be positioning the closest battles as Malcolm's under attack from Jez Banks. Banks is on the outside. There's a head down to turn 1. Malcolm will have the inside line, and Banks might try and do a cutback and tries to do a cutback, but doesn't manage. Jones is up the inside, and he manages to get that move done. Nice move, Craig Jones.
I mean, action all over the field. I'm sad that we only have 3 races tonight, because this is absolutely incredible. And Alex, who's that? David Ayres around. I think without any damage, but losing many positions, of course, back to the front. Giacoletta and Sesford very close to each other. Let's see the lap times compared to the top 2 guys. You can see them in the same shot. 52.3, 51.9, 52.8 and 52.5. So the 2 Fury Sim Sport guys are pulling away ever so slightly from the Year 1 Racing duo, as Mikey Key as well goes for... I mean, that gravel there is well liked by the drivers. Cullinan and Cooley with a dive bomb there from... is that Jets Banks? Yes, he is. Well, Ryan, we need to catch our breath for a second. Who's that?
Oh, who's that? It's off the track. That's
I think that is Thomas Derbyshire. No, who is that? Simon Watton? No.
I think it could have been either Thomas Derbyshire or.
No, it was Thomas Derbyshire. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was him. As a it looks like his race is over for the seat. His last race for the evening is over. You look back up at look at one of the Fury Simsport and Year One racing cars going at it. James Eaglestone and Steve Cooley. And yeah, it looks like Eaglestone managed to take a position as Dan Blake behind has managed to take a position from Carl Hardy.
Back to Scott Malcolm defending from Jess Banks and Alex Rivette. Poor Mick Barry, I mean, it is 17 positions lost and he was in the lead of the race. Absolutely nothing he could have done there in that crash. As Jacolette disappeared and reappeared. Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
There is a disqualification limit in place. It's 20 incident points. So we might have some drivers disappear out of nowhere. But that wasn't the case. Just a connection issue. Jess Banks on the inside of Scott Malcolm. And I think Malcolm will maybe keep the position. We know Malcolm usually doesn't fight super hard.
Oh, contact between Banks and one of the
Banks, oh no! Carl Hardy clips him. Big hit there. Back to the front because Sharp fancying his chances for the race lead. Then thinks better of it. Banks has towed back to the pits. And Sharp is really pushing hard right now.
I was wondering if we could possibly get a replay of that incident between Banks and one of the Result Clothing cars, I think it was. Yeah. As we look back up at it now, it looks like Banks tried to do a cutback on Malcolm. It got slowed up, and then that was one of the Year One racing cars. Sorry, Result Clothing cars. I apologise to Result Clothing for that. But yeah, it looks like Banks didn't. Maybe tried to cut across, or just didn't leave enough room for whoever it was in the Result Clothing car. He just unfortunately ended up in contact, and unfortunately Banks was the unlucky victim.
Yes, and it doesn't take much for these cars to get turned around since the rear end is a little bit curved, not properly, I would say, straight. I mean, it's not a 90s car, it's a modern car, so it has all the nice shapes, as there was, I think, Carl Hardy there going through the fields.
Malcolm's trying to go for a move up the inside of Alex Rivette, but Rivette has managed to hold that position. As we look back closer to the front with Craig Jones and Ralph Cullinan, and it looks these guys are battling for P7, and just in front of them is Andy Maxwell and Mikey Key, and as it stands, it looks like the final race of the evening will probably go to a Fury Simsport driver, but it's just a case of if it'll be Edward May or Ben Sharp.
Yes, here they are with just a little bit more than 2 minutes left in this race. And in the previous laps, Sharp was closing in on May, but now May is pulling away and seems to be in a good position, whilst the two Year One racing drivers, Graham Sesford and Carl Jacolette, are fighting it out for the final podium spot. And behind them is the Result Clothing car of Mikey Key in a battle with Maxwell, Jones and Cullinan.
Absolutely. Just looking at the battle for fifth place at the moment between Mikey Key and Andy Maxwell and Craig Jones and Ralph Cullinan, and I think this is a battle. It could go right down to the end, but also in front of these guys is the 2 Year One racing cars of the 2 Year One racing cars of Graham Sesford and Carl Jacolette just up ahead. So we could potentially have a battle for the final podium position between these pack of cars.
We absolutely could. Let's see when the final lap starts. I guess we can have we will have 2 more laps. So this one and another.
Absolutely, as Cessford and Jackie Lee are going at it for fair position. They don't want to be holding each other up too much because this pack of cars behind them is starting to slowly close them down.
And Mikey Key is really closing on them now. Craig Jones, Maxwell and Cullinan still arguing over 6th place. Back at the front, as John Moore is wide there. Just when the leaders went past, is this the white flag coming on the air? In the air, I should say. Yes, it is. So final lap of the race starts right now.
Yep, absolutely. Final lap of the race, and as it stands, it looks like there's going to be a Fury Simsport 1-2, and yeah, I have to say, as always, Mark, with these guys seem to be just on top of their game when they need to be, and it seems to be if I was to put my money on a team winning the teams championship, I would have to say Fury Sunsport have to be clear favourites at the moment, even though we still have a long way in the season to go.
I agree with you. Some fantastic driving by their guys today, as Edward May is rounding up the final corner, not without controversy his victory, but a victory nonetheless, as he gets the roar of the crowd for the final corner of the race.
Absolutely, as Edward May comes across the line to take the final race of the evening, followed by teammate Ben Sharp in second for a Fury Sunsport 1-2. And Cal Jacqueline is going to take the final podium position for Year 1 Racing, with teammate Graham Sess was not far behind, and Mikey Key catching them just on the last lap. And yep, just waiting for the rest of the cars to come across the line. And once everyone finishes, we'll take you through the results for the final race of the evening.
Yes, we are waiting for Carlardi, Mick Barry. What could have been for him? Simon Watton as well, who was active in our race chat earlier. And everyone coming through the start-finish line right now. Just missing Mr. Watton himself. And there you have it. Congratulations to Edward May. He wins race 3, and race results for this third and final race of the day should be on your screen right now.
So yeah, as the results are up on your screen right now, Edward May takes the final race of the evening in first. Second place is teammate for Fury Sunsport, Ben Sharp. Cal Jacqueline rounds out the podium in third position. Fourth place is Graham Cessford. Fifth place is Mikey Key. Sixth place is Craig Jones. Seventh place is Ralph Cullinan. Eighth place is Andy Maxwell. Ninth place is Alex Rivette. 10th place is Scott Malcolm. Dan Blake finishes in 11th. James Eaglestone in 12th. Steve Cooley finishes in 13th. 14th is Martin Sampson. 15th is Dale Bennison. 16th is David Ayres. 17th is John Moore. 18th place is Carl Hardy. Mick Barry finishes in 19th. 20th is Simon Wharton. And Jez Banks and Tommy's Derbyshire either retired or were not classified. Jez Banks, I believe, finished, but Thomas Derbyshire was a retiree, I believe.
Yes, he was. And so that will be that for race 3 and for the racing tonight. Let's just wait a second for a few drivers showing up for the interviews. Thank you very much, gracias, for joining us in the chat. Grazie a tutti. Spectators from all over the world we had tonight. Ryan, and that was absolutely great. Let's wait a second for drivers in the interview room. We have some of them. Let's start, I think, if you are okay, with Edward May, the winner of race 3.
Yep, I'm more than happy to do that. As final race winner of the final race of the evening, I believe, was Edward May, and yeah, Edward, it looked like you guys from Fury Sunsport had a pretty good evening.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you to just everyone in the team. We had a really great weekend. Our pace was we had good pace sort of in the qualifying practice sessions, but we didn't expect to have such good race pace. Again, very sorry. So I think it was Mick Barry who was, I think it was Mick Barry or whoever I hit at the start of race 3. I was just, I want to see the replay again to see if he was slower than expected through there, but that might have been my mistake. It was good to get the win, but leaves us a bit of a sore taste in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, me and Marco seen the incident, and I think from what we've seen, it was just one of those things. Maybe just carried too much speed into the corner and just flipped Mick. But it's just it just looked like a racing incident anyway. But yeah, it was good to nevertheless see you guys do well tonight. And yeah, what's your aims for this season now? Is it try and go for the championship, or just see how it pans out and just take it race by race?
I think it's a bit too early to focus on the championship just yet. I think there's still quite a few meetings to go. Obviously, me and I think Ben Sharp both have the most amount of wins. We've had a Fury winner in every race this time out, so it's looking like it could be a team battle for the championship if it comes to it. Of course, you've got Result Clothing and Year One that have got very quick drivers in there. I think Kyle Hardy's in contention for it, so we're going to have to see what's going to come to the end of the season. I've been very surprised with my pace, but of course I've got good driver coach in Dan Blake, previous winner for this championship. So that's probably what explains why Fury is doing so well.
Good stuff. Just before you go, is there anyone that you want to give a thank you to? Any friends, sponsors, or anyone in particular?
Well, besides obviously Dan Blake, you've got just everyone in the team who was out today. We've got Ben Sharp, we've got Jez Banks, we've had James Eagleston, we've had Ryan Oliver. We've had Edward Ratpridger come in with setups and stuff. Obviously, he wasn't here for tonight, but because he's got job commitments. But aside from that, yeah, just obviously thanks to the guys who organised the event, and thanks to you guys for commentating.
Thanks very much, and yeah, thanks for joining us, Edward. And will you be around? Will you be racing next week? I'm not sure. I can't remember what track it is, which is pretty bad with me. But will you be around next week?
Well, I think it's Canadian Time Motorsports Park. Yeah, I think I'll be racing this week. I've kind of new to iRacing, so I only brought this track yesterday, and I brought Motorsports Lawn with it just to complete it, see how I go. Sort of just thinking about championship and getting points for the team, because the team championship is what we're really looking at. But sometimes we just can't get the drivers in, which is a shame. But real life commitments get in the way. That's always got to come first.
Indeed. Well, thanks for joining us, Edward, and we'll look forward to seeing you on track next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sarah.
Yes, Ryan, it's going to be Mosport in next Monday. It's the very first racetrack where I did an official online race in my life. Back in the days of Grand Prix Legends, the track was a bit different, but not that much. I got this connection. It was 2002. Speaking of 2002, I mean, and many years ago, the next day, April the 9th, I know everyone is absolutely waiting for this big news, but on April 9, I will turn 30. It's going to be the big 30 for me, so yeah, I'm old. The problem is I've been doing this for so many years, since 2002, and I'm still a terrible driver. Let's talk to a good driver. Let's talk to Craig Jones, who is here and had a very, very interesting night of racing, finishing on the podium in race 2. Hello, Craig. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, good night of racing. Some frustrating moments tonight, but yeah, happy with the podium in race 2.
What are your opinions on this particular version of Brands Hatch? Of course, being prone to chaotic moments, I'd imagine, since the lap is so short. There were 20-something cars on the track at any given time. So, how do you compare it to the GP track?
I prefer the GP track. Both layouts have the mighty paddock hill in them, so that's always can cause a bit of chaos, especially on the opening laps. And yeah, being I think it was about 24 car grid tonight, so that's quite a lot of cars to be going around a really short track. And tomorrow night in the Tuesday series, it's going to be even more chaos. Yeah, it's definitely prefer the GP layout, but the Indy layout does have its moments of fun.
And next week we will be in another very short, very undulating track. It's going to be Mosport. How do you feel about Mosport?
Yeah, I've raced there a few times. It's not a track that I feel I've got a lot of experience, but it's it's always been another good place to race around, and normally very competitive as well. So hopefully we're going to have another fun week next week and see some really close racing.
Thank you very much, Craig. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Only you guys for doing a fantastic stream as always, and I have to give a shout out to my teammates in Result Clothing as well.
Thank you very much. That was Craig Jones, driver for Result Clothing. Catch you next time, Craig.
Thank you.
Okay, Ryan. World GT, of course, is not on tonight, but the action doesn't stop because in around 2 hours we have Rick Motek from Barber at 1:15. We changed the time. It's at 50 minutes past midnight GMT. And then tomorrow morning for the early risers at 8:45 GMT, IMSA official from Monza. And then in the evening we will have the BSR Pro Series on the Racing Esports Network, again at 19:15 GMT. I will get this right next time because it's very, very tough. And then on Wednesday, we have BSRTC Pro Series. The new season starts again from Brands Hatch. I think from the GP layout, this one, 19:15 GMT. And on Wednesday, of course, we have the Le Mans Series. And I am a great professional, so I don't know where we are racing this time around, but don't miss that. And also, we have Dynamics final race of the season on Thursday as well. 75-minute special event from Spa. Saturday, the Euro V8 supercars are back at 18 GMT from Sonoma. So a nice week. And next week, once again, on the day of my birthday, I'm quite sure we are doing a new series because we will be showing the VRS GT Sprint Series from Laguna Seca, if I'm not mistaken, at an hour that I cannot convert into normal, European times. But it's going to be there, so don't miss that as well. So we cover Le Mans Series, we cover VRS GT, and we cover IMSA. So if you like sports car or GT racing, I think Apex Racing TV Ryan is the place to be in the next weeks, in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Also before we go as well, don't forget to check us out on social media. You can check it, give us a like on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also give us a follow on Twitter and also follow us on Instagram. And also, is there any other forms of social media, Marco? Have I got that right?
I think I think we are also on Twitch, and just search for Apex Racing TV on Google and you will find us. So yeah, I think for tonight, Ryan, that will be that. Thank you to everyone for joining us, and if you want to stick around for Rick Motek, feel free to do so in a couple of hours.
Absolutely. That's about it from me and Marco. And thanks to Marco as always for joining me in the booth and doing the cameras as well. And you'll look forward to seeing you next time in whatever series that we'll broadcast. So from me and Marco, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.